holding at this stage of the season. Can you give us an idea, from your point of view, how much new faces have added to the group and lifted things for you in the last couple of weeks?
They have done. I think it's always important during the summer. Transfers have got to make an impact. They've got to come in and be the right characters, which we've certainly seen so far. Some have already made some really important contributions, and hopefully we continue to see that. But as players and staff here, I think we've been really pleased with how they've settled in. But we all know it's about performing. You know, Vaslav's turned up with a brilliant goal on the weekend. Robin looks solid and offers us something different. Another sign is, we hope to contribute, and hopefully that continues.
As someone who's been part of many dressing rooms over the years and been through many transfer windows, you sort of learned the lesson of not judging players too quickly as well. You sort of give them time to show their true worth or otherwise.
Absolutely, it takes. I've moved in transfer windows, and you need time yourself to adjust. So I've been through that. Other players, I've not moved country. I've not moved too far afield, if you like. Other players have had to move continents across the world. I think the club's doing a really good job of helping those guys settle in, being in a different place, different language, us as a group helping those people. So it can take time, but we all know what playing for Rangers is all about. You've got to perform and you've got to be ready to go. And like I said, I think some have really hit the ground running, and others are going to feature more as we go on. And fully expect them to perform well.
How challenging are these particular games at this stage of the season, given people are settling in, some people maybe haven't been brought in yet, people want to leave, you've got all different things in the mix. With what's riding on them, are they particularly sort of stressful, challenging time of fixture?
No, I think it's just what you want to be involved in. Every game for this club is a huge one. The expectation is to win. We have ambitions of what we want to achieve. We want to get to the Champions League qualifying round and ultimately into the Champions League. So these are games you don't want to be waiting around to March to be having big games. It's good to have them this early, and like I said, coming back to the new guys, it's good for them to experience it already. We're down to business now, and these games are important, and tomorrow's no different.
Jack, you didn't make the Champions League last year, but it was the same situation. A lot of new players coming in, trying to build, win big matches. Do you feel you can learn lessons from being here last year, getting close, but not quite making it? You can use this time around.
Absolutely. I mean, the start of last season was so difficult for so many reasons. I think everyone can look back and see that, and lots of changes at the club. I like to think at the minute we're a lot more settled. Started the season in a more positive way than we did last year, although not the win on the first day that we'd won. So there's a lot more optimism, I think. The game itself, we came up against a top PSV side last year, and that was the marker of where we need to be able to get to, and we need to be able to perform and beat those sorts of teams in Europe. As the season went on, we performed extremely well against some big European sides. That's no different tomorrow. We've got to win that game, and we're looking forward to whoever we face next.
You say you're more settled this time around. Do you feel that you are most perfectly placed to go and reach the Champions League group stage?
I think so. We learned a lot from the first fixture last week. Certainly things that we could have tidied up on, perhaps gave them a few too many easy opportunities, but we certainly felt that tactically and in the game we didn't feel out of our depth. I think we could have been better as well, so there's things that we can learn from that. And there's definitely opportunities to create more chances than we did, so we're optimistic about tomorrow night and looking forward to it.
Jack, with Conor leaving, you're obviously one of the leaders within the group. Is your role taking that even more significance now with his departure?
You could speculate that, I suppose. For me, I don't feel like the way I am around the place has changed at all. It was clear how important and of a person and a player Conor was for us. And for me, it's just a continuation of last year and to try and be better than I was last year, to try and be more of a leader. But it's not something I've consciously thought about. I think it's just more coming natural to me, and just trying to be as positive and then lead the boys as well as I can.
At the last transfer window, there was obviously interest in you, which the club rebuffed. Would you be hopeful, confident that would be a similar approach from your club should another club come calling?
Yeah, I think we've got a good relationship. I think there's certainly an idea of what we want to achieve and ultimately want to be successful here. So we've had conversations, my conversations with the club, what we're doing, where we're going, how far are we going, and how far are we pushing, which is, as any player at the club, is what you want to know. You want to know the ambitions. So for me, no cloudy areas over that. I'm looking forward to this season and looking forward to playing as well as I can.
Do you say conversations? Is it with Philippe come on, or is it with people above?
With everybody, I've been, whenever you get the opportunity to speak to any of the directors on planes when we travel, and you always pick the brains and speak to people, and that's what this club's all about. We've got to be together, and it's a concern of mine. I'm not concerned, but it's a concern. It's good to speak to those people. It's good to know where the club's at and the direction and the optimism and things like that. As a player, there's certainly things that you want to know and be a part of. I hope my opinions sometimes are taken and mattered as well, and it's a good relationship, and thoroughly enjoy how things are going.
So the vibes are good from the above?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah.
Jack, on a personal level, how much does it mean to you to play group stage Champions League this season?
Huge. First taste of it last year with the Europa League. Some great experiences for us. But we want to keep going and pushing further. The Champions League was the target last year. We then had to refocus, but it's certainly the focus again this year. And yeah, personally, and for any of the boys in there, I think some have experienced it before. But for me personally, I would love to experience that and get us in there.
Liam Kelly obviously joining the club in the summer. Has that changed much in terms of intensity in training?
If you know Robbie McCrory, you know what sort of intense guy he was. So I love training with Robbie, and he was brilliant, and I'm glad that he's got his opportunity to go and play. With that, it brings Liam in, a man with great experience, a man that knows the club inside out, and also a great character to have in the goalkeeping group and in the changing room. So offers something different, and certainly someone that I think is going to be of value to us as well.
Last few questions, guys.
You've now got used to playing at Hampden.
Yep.
Has there been any changes you've had to make to your game? For instance, is the wind more prevalent at Hampden as at Ibrox, and do you have to make adjustments within that?
Well, you know what Scottish weather's like. It can give it 20 minutes and it changes, but it's part and parcel of it. You get good days, you get bad days with the weather. It is a little bit more open. Obviously, Ibrox is a lot tighter, and that's what makes that such an incredible stadium. For us, we've just got to adapt in general, just to play in our home games there for now. But we've played there plenty of times, and we've got plenty of good memories too, and hopefully we can keep that up.
Last one, Steve.
Jack,
Yep.
you can always be a comfortable place, or Rangers have done very well, won some games,
Yep.
but do you have to strive to get out of that comfort zone
Yep.
and go for the Champions League?
Exactly, and that's why tomorrow is so important. It's we're not comfortable with the Europa League. Yes, it's a great competition if you are in there, and there's a great opportunity to progress and things like that. But we want to test ourselves, what it does for the club, just in the outside world, just in general for players who experience that, the financial gain for the club. It's an important thing. That's not something that we think of as players. It's just a reality. So there's so many pros to qualifying for that, and it's certainly our target.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Sure. Cheers, guys.